Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. For those who are unaware, the thumbnail we're using on this, it's got old Alan Greenspan, Larry Summers, and Robert Rubin with the Committee to Save the World. And I added a little bit in there where I said, except for Thailand and Southeast Asia. Because if anybody knows anything about the 97 financial crisis, and I urge you to check out the link in the description below, I put a link to the article from this Time magazine article from back in the 90s, from this Committee to Save the World. You know, that was the featured article associated with this cover of the magazine of, again, Greenspan. These are the central bankers, basically. Larry Summers, I think, was Treasury Secretary before. Rubin, you know, he was Treasury Secretary. Greenspan was at the Fed. But basically, if you read the article, I remember at the time reading this article and other articles similar to it where they talked about how these central bankers in the West were on the phones in Asia to create a firewall so that all of this contagion didn't come back over to the West. Well, the reason was the West created it in the first place. It occurred out here and then it went back over there and started, they thought it would metastasize back that way, but basically what happened is the central bankers just basically created a situation where they firewalled themselves, saved themselves from all their own risk, and then left us out here in Southeast Asia. It wasn't me at the time, I wasn't out here then in 97, but again, this harkens back to 97. And the reason for the video is talking about the foreign media and how they portray this stuff. They made it look like it was Thailand. It was all Thailand's fault. Oh, the Thais are so silly and they don't know how to do anything. But when you read these articles, these folks were on the phones to keep this from spreading into the USA and into the West because it was their investors that had made the bad investments that were having the negative ramifications out of it. And then they came in and did kind of proto bailouts and things like that, but at the time it was restructuring, but restructuring sort of under supervision of the American financial authorities, which basically meant they could do whatever they wanted, but they didn't care about Southeast Asia. That's the point. They maintained a lot of ongoing, if you will, standard of living at the expense of Southeast Asia and East Asia in 97. That's a fact, okay? That said, I think it's worth noting this one quote from that Time article, quoting directly, and again, link in the description below. Quote, "A Thai banker who breaks the rules by passing $100,000 to his brother-in-law puts the whole system at risk." Are you kidding me? That was the kind of ham-fisted propaganda you were throwing at us in 97 when we now know the West has been printing money like a drunken sailor wallpapering his house? I mean, this is insane. Okay, like this, and to actually have had the temerity in retrospect to blame this on a, quote, Thai banker who breaks the rules by passing $100,000 to his brother-in-law. Like, first of all, bankers here in Thailand are just known for handing out 100 grand at a pop, okay? But again, and that's why this is so absurd. That's why the quote just made my blood boil when I reread that article. You know, that somehow this was all Thailand's fault because of our corruption here. No, go back and look at the systemic causes of what started out here, the symptoms that manifest out here. It was from bad policies up to that point. And it's my argument George Soros et al. Utilized that particular crisis to then put Thailand into a trap and then put her under the IMF, which is difficult on the best of days to deal with it, to get out from under those folks. Looked to me like they were putting Thailand into a bad position. You know, the point I'm trying to make with this video is this bullying from the financial media on Thailand, it needs to end. It's nonsense. You talk nonsense theories and try to apply them to a Thailand, that these theories are not fit to purpose. Meanwhile, it's just a bunch of bullying from a bunch of foreigners trying to tell the Thais what to do and induce folks over here like our core coalition party that seems so obsessed with the World Economic Forum to get them to do things that are in Thailand, not in Thailand's interests. And again, all at the behest of foreign financial institutions, foreign players like the World Economic Forum, and most importantly, the financial media. Beating up on Thailand and bullying up on Thailand needs to end. Thailand's got a pretty sound economy going out here, and compared to all of you guys in the West, you know, I mean, y'all are broke compared to Thailand. So let's just stop the nonsense.